They want you to believe that newer is better, that the $2,200 refrigerator you just financed is a technological leap forward from the one your parents bought in 1987. That the ice maker and the touchscreen and the Wi-Fi connectivity mean you got more for your money. You did not. You got less. Less steel, less lifespan, less value per dollar than any refrigerator sold in the previous 40 years. And the people who sold it to you knew that before you ever walked into the showroom. By the end of this video, you will know the cost per year truth about modern refrigerators. You will know which configurations to avoid completely. You will know which brands still build the way America used to build. And you will walk away with a framework for buying appliances that will save you thousands of dollars over the next 20 years. If that sounds like information worth having, stay with me. Before we go anywhere, let us establish the only number that actually matters when you buy a refrigerator. Not the sticker price, not the star rating, not the cubic footage, the cost per year. The formula is simple. Purchase price divided by expected lifespan in years. That is your real cost. That is the number the industry does not want on the showroom floor. Here is what that looks like in practice. A Whirlpool top freezer refrigerator from $1,989 cost approximately $400 at retail. Adjusted for inflation, that is roughly $1,000 in today's dollars. That refrigerator, properly maintained, routinely reaches 25 to 30 years of service. Cost per year, between $33 and $40. Now look at the French door refrigerator sitting in 3 million American kitchens right now. Average retail price, $1,800 to $2,500. Average lifespan, based on Consumer Reports reliability data, 10 to 13 years. Average repair cost before replacement, $300 to $500 per incident. Failure rate within 5 years for French door models approaching 37%. Run that math honestly. A $2,000 refrigerator lasting 11 years costs $182 per year before a single repair. Add 2 repair visits over that lifespan and you are at $254 per year. The old Whirlpool is still running at $33. The expensive one is 8 times more expensive by the only measurement that matters. That is the framework. Hold on to it. Because every number we are about to walk through is going to hit harder once you see it. Now let us talk about why this happened. Because it did not happen by accident. In 1990, there were dozens of independently competing refrigerator manufacturers in the United States. G, Frigidaire, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, Admiral, Hotpoint, each one competing for the same American consumer. Each one with a reputation to protect. Durability was the product. The Maytag repairman with nothing to do was not just an advertising campaign, it was the industry standard they were all racing toward. Then the consolidation began. Between 1995 and 2010, the major appliance manufacturers were absorbed, merged, and reorganized under a handful of parent conglomerates. Whirlpool acquired Maytag in 2006 for $1.7 billion. Electrolux absorbed Frigidaire. GE Appliances was sold to Haier, a Chinese state-linked manufacturer, in 2016 for $5.4 billion. By 2020, 5 conglomerates controlled approximately 90% of all appliances sold in the United States. When you eliminate competition, you eliminate the incentive to outlast your rival. What you replace it with is something far more profitable. The replacement cycle. A refrigerator that lasts 25 years is a customer you see once every 25 years. A refrigerator engineered to fail at year 10, is a customer you see twice in the same window. The math is not complicated. The motivation is not hidden. The execution was systematic, deliberate, and extraordinarily profitable. Here is the first thing they changed. And it is the thing no salesperson will ever mention. The compressor. In every refrigerator built before approximately 1995, the compressor was cast iron and steel. It was, in the language of the engineers who designed it, overbuilt. Mechanically redundant. Capable of handling stresses far beyond anything a residential kitchen would ever produce. That redundancy is what gave those machines their 2 5-year lifespans. Then, the accountants got involved. The compressors in the majority of refrigerators sold today are manufactured to cost targets, not performance targets. LG, which supplies compressors not only for its own refrigerators, but for Kenmore and several other brands, found itself at the center of a class action lawsuit that settled in 2020, millions of units. Compressors failing at year 3. At year 4, at year 5, the settlement was paid. The compressor design continued shipping. That is the part that should make you set this video down and think for a moment, not that it failed, that it kept shipping. But it gets worse. The second thing they changed is the control board. A refrigerator built before 1995 had almost no electronics. A thermostat, a motor, a light bulb, a competent person with a screwdriver, and a $15 part from a hardware store could fix most problems that arose. Repair made sense. Repair was accessible. Repair was the default. Today's refrigerator contains a proprietary electronic control board managing every function in the machine. Temperature regulation, ice production, door alarm systems, the display panel where the temperature reads. When that board fails, replacement parts cost between $200 and $500. And here's the part the manufacturer does not advertise. After approximately 7 years, many manufacturers discontinue that proprietary board entirely. Not because a better version exists, because the old version is no longer profitable to stock. When that happens, your refrigerator is not broken beyond repair. It is unrepairable by design. The part does not exist. The repairman cannot help you. The machine is yours, legally, and it is worthless, functionally. Here is where it gets interesting. The industry has a shield, and they use it every time this conversation comes up. Energy efficiency. Modern refrigerators use significantly less electricity than older models. That is true. An Energy Star certified refrigerator today uses roughly 400 kilowatt hours per year. A comparable 1980s unit used closer to 1,400. The industry points to that gap and says, see better. But let us run the complete math. 400 kilowatt hours saved per year at the average American utility rate of approximately 16 cents per kilowatt hour saves you $160 annually. The average repair cost for a modern refrigerator is $350 per incident. Modern units require repair at nearly twice the frequency of their predecessors. Over a 1-5-year ownership window, the electricity savings total roughly $2,400. Over that same window, 2 to 3 repair visits cost $700 to $1,050. And at year 12 or 13, when the machine fails completely and the control board is discontinued, you spend another $1,800 to $2,500 on a replacement. The efficiency gain is real. The economic argument built around it is manufactured. And this is the part they really do not want you to see. In 2005, there were approximately 45,000 independent appliance repair businesses operating across the United States. By 2023, fewer than 18,000 remained. That collapse was not caused by consumers learning to fix their own machines. It was caused by manufacturers systematically making repair economically impossible. Proprietary parts, sealed systems requiring specialized tools, software locks that void warranties if a non-authorized technician opens the unit. When repair becomes inaccessible, replacement becomes mandatory. Mandatory replacement on a 10-year cycle is worth approximately $13 billion annually to the appliance industry. That number did not appear by accident. It was engineered, piece by piece, policy by policy, product by product. So what do you actually do? Because outrage without a plan is just content. And this channel exists to change what you buy, not just what you believe. Here is the list. Number 1, buy old before you buy new. The secondary market for pre-1995 American refrigerators is real, accessible, and undervalued. The models worth finding are the Whirlpool top freezer units produced between 1985 and 1998, the GE TBX series from the same era, and pre-acquisition Maytag units from before 2006. A working 1,990 Whirlpool top freezer purchased on Facebook Marketplace for $150, serviced by an independent technician for another $75 to $100, will in most cases outlive anything on a showroom floor today. Total investment, $250. Cost per year, over 15 remaining years, $16. No Wi-Fi required. Number 2, avoid French door configurations entirely. This is not a style preference. This is a data position. Consumer Reports reliability surveys consistently show French door refrigerators failing at nearly double the rate of top freezer models. Every additional hinge is a failure point. Every additional ice-making mechanism is a failure point. Every additional water line, door seal, and drawer track is a failure point. The top freezer configuration is not glamorous. It is the configuration that works. Number 3, buy simple. The feature list on a modern refrigerator is not a value proposition. It is a list of future repair invoices. A touchscreen adds an electronic component with a 3 to 5 year failure window. A built-in camera adds a wireless module that will require a firmware update your refrigerator will eventually stop receiving. A Wi-Fi connected refrigerator is a refrigerator with a network vulnerability. None of these features cool your food better than a machine without them. Every one of them shortens the machine's serviceable life. Simplicity is not a compromise. It is the specification of someone who has done the math. Number 4, check parts availability before you buy. This is the single most actionable piece of information on this list. Before purchasing any refrigerator, search the model number on Repair Clinic or Encompass Parts. Check whether the major components are in stock. Check what they cost. Check how long they have been available. If a 2-year-old model already shows limited parts availability, the manufacturer has shown you exactly what your year 7 looks like. Walk away. Number 5, know the 2 brands that refuse to participate in the race to the bottom. In the current market, 2 names consistently emerge from independent repair technicians, consumer advocacy organizations, and long-term reliability data: Miele and Speed Queen. Miele was founded in Gütersloh, Germany in 1899 by Karl Miele and Reinhard Zinkan. It remains family-owned. The Miele and Zinkan families still hold controlling interest today, more than 125 years after the company was founded. Their refrigerators are tested to 2 0-year performance standards. Their parts availability guarantee extends to 15 years post-manufacture. The current retail price for a Miele refrigerator runs from approximately $2,500 to $5,000 depending on configuration. Run the cost per year on a $3,000. Miele, over 20 years, $150 per year. Compare that to the $254 per year we calculated for the average French door unit. The expensive refrigerator is the cheap one. Again, always. Speed Queen's story is different, but the principle is identical. Speed Queen is manufactured in Ripon, Wisconsin by Alliance Laundry Systems. Their engineering philosophy comes directly from the commercial laundromat industry, where a machine that breaks costs the owner money every single day it sits idle. Commercial-grade construction. Simplified mechanical systems designed for serviceability. A warranty that reflects genuine confidence in the product. Speed Queen's appliance line was built on one assumption: the consumer deserves the same machine the professional uses. That assumption is not common in this industry, which is exactly why it belongs on this list. Step back from the individual products for a moment. Look at the pattern. Miele, family owned for 125 years. Speed Queen, commercially engineered, built for professional grade longevity. The pre-1995 American models we discussed, built in a competitive market where durability was the product. Every machine on this list shares one characteristic: the people who built it had a reason to care whether it lasted. Family ownership means the Miele family name is on every machine that fails. Commercial engineering means Speed Queen's reputation lives or dies in laundromats where downtime is never acceptable. Pre-consolidation competition means the original American manufacturers were racing each other toward durability, not away from it. The machines that fail at year 10 were built by conglomerates, answerable to quarterly earnings reports and shareholder calls. Nobody's family name is on a Whirlpool anymore. Nobody's grandmother is in the building. Nobody loses sleep when your compressor fails at month 47. That is not cynicism. That is the organizational reality of how modern appliances are made, and it is the most important thing this channel will ever tell you. Quality did not die. It was acquired, consolidated, and deliberately re-engineered out of the product line. But it still exists in the brands that never sold,